here's my strategy. And I tell these to leads all the time, we're in the business of doing good business. We really do a very good job of pinpointing people's pain and finding reasonable solutions. Just yesterday, I turned down a lead that I may be able to get like, $3,000-4,000 on this property, but it wasn't in the best interest for the lead. And I told him, I'm like, you can just keep this property, do a cash out refi, rent it out, get the money you need for your next property. Now you have a passive income. He's gonna look into that route, and he's gonna give me a 5-star review on my website. And that review might be worth, $2,000-3,000 or tenfold in the future when I'm dealing with somebody that may be very analytical and wants to deal with a company that has really good reviews. So my name is Enzo Nitti. I am originally from Florida. I am doing real estate wholesaling and buy and holds in St. Louis, Missouri, and that's where I live now. And I've been doing real estate for about 2 years now.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Did you know that our CEO's from St. Louis?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I follow his stuff a lot, and yeah, I see him on the Facebook groups and all of that.
Okay, so going forward, like how did you get into real estate? Like, why did you get into real estate investing?
So, in my past life, I was worked at a recruiting firm for accountants. I would find accountants jobs or find companies accountants. And when the pandemic hit, I was laid off. I had a e-commerce business on the side as my side hustle. So then I started focusing on that. Me and my partner, we decided to just separate from it. So I sold my part of the business from it. So then I had a little bit of capital, and my girlfriend started doing wholesaling with a partner in St. Louis. So that's how she was into it. And once I sold my business, I was kind of in a weird spot. I didn't know if I wanted to find a W-2 or maybe use this capital to start, investing in real estate. So I decided to do that. And we partnered with this guy, and we did a bunch of deals together, but that's originally how we were doing it. We're actually doing it virtually. I was in Florida. My girlfriend was in Colorado, and we had our boots in the ground, who was our third partner, and we pretty much just did 50-50 splits on everything. We would find the deals, he would go and close them and dispo them, and that's how I got started into the real estate space.
So how did so are you investing, when you said you're doing virtual, so you are investing in St. Louis while you were in Florida?
We were only wholesaling.
Okay.
Yeah, for the first, up until 2022, we were strictly wholesaling. This year, we've been doing some buy and holds. We're actually about to go into a flip, but we started in March of 2020, right when the pandemic hit, up until February of this year was the first time we kept the property. So up until then, we were strictly doing wholesaling deals. And yeah, we were doing it virtually until we decided to move out here to St. Louis. And then because my girlfriend and I, we wanted just to do it on our own, because we were making a lot of deals, but we were only getting 33% of each deal. And so we decided to do it on our own, and we moved here, and now it's just us two running the operation.
And what, going into, you did wholesaling for that long, what was the shift that made you want to start holding some of these properties and going into flipping?
Appreciation. Yeah, we saw like what we made on each deal, and then we saw what the value is now, and we're like, no way, like we got to start keeping some of these. And even in just that short time frame, it was just a rude awakening. It's a scary leap to get these properties in your name and have that mental roadblock disappear of I'm an investor, or wholesaling is one thing. You're not putting any skin in the game. You're just spending your time and getting this, hopefully large returns on them. But once you actually put the skin in the game, you can walk the walk and talk the talk. Then it starts getting a little more like, okay, I can see myself really making this a lifelong trip. And that's what we did. And we didn't, with wholesaling, even in the beginning, you have to fake it till you make it. You have to seem like you're maybe more invested in the game than you may be, just so you can give the seller the confidence in you to be like, okay, this guy's going to get the deal done. But once you start investing in yourself and you've gone through the process, your tone changes, and then you really start having better conversations with these sellers, and your success rate goes up because you're living it now. And that's the biggest upside I've seen from making this transition from wholesaling to wholesaling and then holding some properties.
So would you recommend that to someone who's like getting into real estate investing, of like starting in wholesaling and then moving, or do you think they could, what would you recommend?
So I would recommend getting one property under your belt, maybe that's like, okay, it depends if you're doing it full time. If you're doing it full time, I would say one under your belt in the first year. If you're not doing it full time, I would say do at least 8 to 10 wholesale deals before you even consider taking one on.
Okay.
I mean, if there's like a really juicy opportunity that you're like, okay, I mean, I can maybe put some paint and get a loan on it and get this property pretty much for free, then yeah. But build capital, eliminate all your debt, and get your way to doing this full time before even considering buying and holding. Because wholesale real estate really, really changed my life and my mindset on potential. Like when you're making, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 wholesale assignments, it's like, why would you? Yeah, you can probably make more if you flip it, but that's going to take more time. It's going to take more energy. I'm seeing it now doing these rehabs and buy and holds. It's taking a lot of time for my wholesale deals, and some of them are slipping through the cracks. And it's a really uncomfortable growing pain that we're going through. And so in some aspect, it's like, man, I wish I was just wholesaling. But now that I have the long-term vision, wholesaling can only get me so far onto where I want to be.
Yeah, no, that's really, I love that explanation. And that's going to help a lot of people too, who are starting, because I feel like most people just don't know what to kind of start getting into. So I really appreciate the numbers you gave, because that gives people a reference of like, I should get to know this before I start going into things.
Mm-hmm.
Flips do kind of scare me, because I do hear all of the things, but it pays off, and it definitely is. I love how you said it's like the growing pains of making that uncomfortable step.
Yeah, it is
what you have to go through. So going into the deals that you've done, how many of those have been, how does DealMachine go into play with those? How many have you done with DealMachine? Yeah.
Yeah, no, huge. So we do two marketing sources. It's all cold calling or texting. And the way we get our leads is driving for dollars. And driving for dollars give us our biggest margins, because we see the property and we know where it's at. We specifically, we know the community that it's in. And those are some of the things that you can't really see until maybe you go out to the property. And a real, I guess, subtle power play is telling these sellers, like, I individually handpick the communities that I want to invest in. And that's a really powerful statement, because a lot of people that are wanting to do wholesale real estate are all getting virtual assistants from the Philippines, and getting these cold callers that are just like bombarding them, or they're not even from St. Louis or even the States. And you being able to, kind of just say, hey, I handpicked this community because I believe in this community. I think we can add a lot of value. We buy some properties in this area and fix them up. That's a really big determining factor. As if you have one seller that's talking to different investors, and one of them may be just a large company that's not even based out of here. And so I honestly can't do driving for dollars by myself. I it's my girlfriend and I, we do driving for dollars together. We have me as a driver and her as the one running the app. And every time we drive, I look at the road at my side, and then she looks at the app and her side. And then all we do is just tell the numbers. And as soon as we say a house number, she adds it. And at the end of the week, we upload them, and either myself, her, or a cold caller just starts calling them immediately.
Oh my gosh. And how many do you have a goal of how many you want to add, like your minimum quota for the week?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I think our max is five. What's the max? 5,000 for the month? Yeah. So we try to do 1,000 a week.
Holy crap.
Yeah, but that's a lot of driving, and that's a lot of time in the car with somebody. And sometimes it could be a lot, but sometimes we'll use DealMachine virtually. Like, we know we're driving around this area and we're like, okay, we're going to add every house in this lot, in this community. So we'll take a screenshot of that area, we'll go home, and then we'll get on the app and then just add them all. We drove by it. We know we're going to add every property. We'll just screenshot that area and then just add them all when we have time. And that's one way, but we try to do 1,000 a week if we're diligent on it, but then there's a lag. Once we get enough properties, then we actually have to call them, because we run a really tight ship. It's only 2 of us and a cold caller, and we like it that way. We're not ready to scale, but there is a lag. There's 1 month that we'll do 4,000 to 5,000 leads that we submitted through DealMachine, and the next month we might do only 1,500. And so but yeah, DealMachine has been a game changer.
I love, and you work with Krista, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Could you tell me, I love hearing about the interactions that you guys have. How has she helped in this whole thing?
Well, I'm probably the easiest client that she's had, just because I use DealMachine so much. I know it inside and out. Now, I don't use any direct mailers or anything like that from them, but she's the one that set up this call. She checks up on us. She makes sure that we're really taking advantage of everything on the app. I love the new update that DealMachine just did. That one, it really, some updates, you're kind of like, oh, okay, this is kind of better, but this one was a real game changer. And it was worth it, because I know the price for DealMachine did go up, but for somebody like ourselves and the update that you guys did, when we got the price for it, we're like, it's a no-brainer. We're gonna get this money back in about a month, like, easily. And so working with her is really, really helpful. Yeah, I think she feels like she wants to do more with us, and we don't let her, just because we're on it so much, and we're just like, that in tune with it. But no, it has been really helpful.
I want to be able to send her back some positive affirmations, because she told me about you guys and she was like, oh, you're gonna love Enzo, he's so great. Like, and she did say that. She was like, he's one of the easiest people. She's like, she knows everything about DealMachine. And I'm like, okay. So I love hearing that, because she really she spoke very highly of you guys. And so
that's awesome.
I wanted to give her some little affirmations too.
Thank you.
And so I wanted to definitely get into the deal. So how many deals have you guys done to date when did you start with us?
So we've been using you guys for, from the beginning. Like, we've been using DealMachine from the beginning. So 2 years. We had a different account, but then once we split up with our partner, we had start our own account. And so, yeah, we've been using DealMachine for close to 2 years now.
And how many deals do you think estimated you've done with DealMachine over that time?
Well, we know last year alone, we did 19 deals from DealMachine. Yeah. And our average deal size last year was 17.5. And so you can imagine when it comes to, investing in your business, the price that we put in DealMachine, it's like, it's not even a question, because we know that we're going to get it back tenfold.
That ROI was nice and sweet on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And and a lot of people say that, some of the leads that we get from driving for dollars, I'm sure we could have gotten it on buying a list or a list source or anything like that. But being able to drive around in certain areas, like, the value of a home can really change from one street to another.
Yeah.
And being able to drive in these areas and really get accustomed to, where the sweet spots are, where the cute pockets of homes are. You can't really find that unless you're driving around. And yeah, you can go out there and have the appointment and then drive around, but that's kind of just working backwards. If you really want to invest in the market that you're working in, driving for dollars is so crucial, because you really get a great idea. You have a finger on the pulse on where you want to invest and where you feel comfortable putting that money that you are earning through wholesaling. And that could be a quicker path to getting you to that next step.
That's such a good point. And I feel like knowing the area, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I always feel more comfortable and confident if I know, okay, I have been here, instead of like driving to a place for the first time. And I can say, I just feel more confident in going into it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay. I want to be very aware of your time, but I'd love to hear a breakdown of one of the deals that you've done that maybe was a little messy, or was just a very unique situation that maybe people could take away something from.
Yeah, let me pull up our deals. I have one that I guess it's not really driving. We got it on our driving for dollars list, but it's like 8 houses down. So that one, I wanted to do that one because we got it from the driving for dollars app, and because we were driving home and we saw it, we're like, we need to call this person. And it's been a 1.5 year follow-up.
Holy.
And it's a tear down. It's in a property in Kirkwood. Kirkwood is a very desirable area in St. Louis. We got the property under contract for $200,000, and within a day we found a developer that bought it for $230,000.
Oh my gosh.
And we got that one driving for dollars. But I'm trying to think of one
that definitely tells. That's not the first time someone's been like, basically they found their first deal or one of their first deals in their backyard, because you start just looking for it.
Yeah, and it's like you don't really see it until what's that I guess what's that thing that you don't really notice something until you hear it from the first time, and then once you're like, oh well, yeah, now I see all these distressed properties.
It's like when you see your car, and now you notice all of the same cars on the road.
Exactly. So let's see, we have this list here. It is okay. Here we go. So we went driving for dollars one time in January of 2021. January of 2021. I remember this vividly because my girlfriend made me go driving for dollars when I had COVID, and I was really upset about it. And I won't let her go. I won't let it go till this day. But we have gotten last year alone 1, 2, 3, 4 deals from that weekend of driving for dollars. And it was like it was intensive. It was like 4 hours a day for 3 days, but we got 4 deals from that. And the biggest deal we got from it, where is it? Let's see. $34,645.
Oh my, is that an average deal size in St. Louis?
No, no, it's not. Ours average is 17. So we'll do like massive deals like that, but then we'll have like a $6,000 deal or a $5,000 deal. Don't come to St. Louis. It's not a good market. We will come across some big deals because here's my strategy. And I tell these to leads all the time, we're in the business of doing good business. We really do a very good job of pinpointing people's pain and finding reasonable solutions. Just yesterday, I turned down a lead that I may be able to get like, $3,000-4,000 on this property, but it wasn't in the best interest for the lead. And I told him, I'm like, you can just keep this property, do a cash out refi, rent it out, get the money you need for your next property. Now you have a passive income. He's gonna look into that route, and he's gonna give me a 5-star review on my website. And that review might be worth $2,000-3,000 or tenfold in the future when I'm dealing with somebody that may be very analytical and wants to deal with a company that has really good reviews. And so we really like to help people out the best way possible and make money as well. If we can do that, then great. If we can't, no hard feelings, no harm done. And I've been treating a lot of the deals this way. If I treat them like, hey, we can do this, great. If we can't, I have a next one coming up. Money has been flowing in constantly with that mindset, because if you feel hungry and you feel like you need this deal to survive, people sense that, you're not going to get that deal. But if you have the best interest of the lead and in mind and giving them one of the solutions being selling the house to you, you're going to make a lot more money. But I guess to answer your question, the biggest deal that we did was driving for dollars. Let me see who this lead was. It was, I think my partner Melanie was, okay, no, this one was the one. I got this one. Lady, it was a duplex that her grandson was living in, and she was really, really gung-ho on getting the best offer, and she wanted 80 for it. And we pretty much just said, look, what is it going to take to get it closed now? And she was like, no, I want to get offers. And it's like, well, give me a number. Like, what's the best number that you can do to get it closed right now? It's like, well, you give me 90, I won't talk to anybody else. We gave her 90. Within, I think, 3 days, we found a buyer at 124.6. And then with closing costs and everything else, we came out with 34,645.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's so nice. Like, that's so good to hear too, is like you ask them for a number, and like if they keep it sounded like she wasn't ready to like give you a number, but you were like,
yeah,
hey.
yeah, it's very it was very uncomfortable in the beginning, having these conversations and being silent when people are just like, when you ask them something and they say, I don't know. And you just sit there and just wait until they do know.
Okay.
Like this silence that's just awkward. It's like sitting in it, and then they'll just come out because, we have such a bad rep of being investors, and we think we're going to lowball them. But if we can give them the price that they're looking for, if it works for them, it works for them. It's not, we were able to help this person. One of the units was completely trashed. The other one was where her grandson was living. We were able to take everything out of there. She didn't have to worry about anything. We closed in 30 days. She got the cash to buy her grandson a down payment on a house. And she was really happy, and she gave us a really good review on our Google page. And it was a win-win for everybody. And I think the biggest winner was the end buyer, because now that property, fixed up is worth $220, and he's renting each side for like $1,100 a month. And so he has a good long-term investment there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he does. That's a
Yeah,
nice,
he does.
that's a nice
So,
deal.
so yeah, it's a 2-1 with a finished basement, 2-1 and a shared finished basement. It's actually a really unique situation. And those are the type of scenarios that we saw. We're like, why the hell are we keeping these? Like, we could have easily just put, $30,000 into it and then gotten all that money out and then having a free property. And one thing that I would really recommend people to do when they're starting off wholesaling and they want to start investing into it, first, do enough deals to get them done, to get enough under your belt that you feel comfortable, but then watch the deals. Watch the deals that you wholesale, follow them, see what they did to them, see what type of upgrades they did to them or rehab they did to them, and see what the exit strategy was. What they kept it, did they dispo it? Get in contact with them afterwards. It's like, how much did you put into it? What did you do? What was your profit? They're okay. Most people are okay talking about it because people love talking about themselves. And so if you just ask them about it, they'll tell you. They're like, okay, I could have made this much if I did this. Now, and the next time you'll have a better eye for these opportunities, and then you'll be able to capitalize on them when the time comes.
Oh, I love that. That's so true though. I didn't even think about that, to just like watch where your wholesale deals went, and then you can learn from that as well. Because I think from this business, and this is why we love doing these calls, is you are learning from others throughout this entire process.
Yeah.
Are you part of the local? So I know you said you went to Sam's thing. Are you part of the local like RIA in St. Louis then?
Yeah, there's not like I guess it's not like I guess I haven't found an official like RIA, but I do, like, there's like 3 meetups that I do for the real estate investors every month. Doing a Chamber of Commerce. I'm doing a strategy right now that, well, it's been very difficult to find off-market properties, so I'm really connecting with agents to bring properties to me. And so I've been dealing with a lot of agents and trying to do a lot of agent meetups. And so to answer your question, I try to go to as many meetups as possible that have investors, because that is going to be the best way to shorten your learning curve is be around people that have been doing this a lot longer. Because 95% of the things that I've said today, I probably learned from somebody within the last year. Right. And so, and then it just, when I hear it once and then I see it, I'm like, oh, now it really clicks. And hopefully, whoever listens to this can get that benefit too, that you need to surround yourself with as many real estate investors as possible, real estate agents, anybody that's invested in real estate, to be able to shorten that learning curve.
I love that. Just be a sponge.
Yeah. Be a sponge and be loud. Talk about it. Talk to anybody about it. We have gotten 3 properties that have been referrals from people that we already sold to. And they're like, they made the process so easy that you would love to work with them.
I love that. And the story about having, I do feel like people who work in this business with a serving heart, like a very, you're looking out for the seller, that, like you said, it does pay off, because they can feel that. And honestly, I do think it's you're attracting that too. Like if and people, the fact that you were like, I can't help you, but do you mind filling out this review? And you're right. People are going to look at those Google reviews. And I mean, I look at Google reviews all the time for just anything.
All the time. Yeah. All the time. And it literally, I have a review that says, we were not able to make a deal work, but they were able to guide me to the best, my best solution. And we went that route. Like, it says that, and it gives us 5-star review, because, and I mean, when you see those type of reviews, it's kind of like, wow, like, these people are going to guide me in the right direction. And of course, it's still a business. I'm still trying to make money, but I tell them that, like, I need to make money to make this deal work. If I can't make money, I'm not going to make it work. I'm sorry. And they're like, okay. And then this is where I need to be to make money. Can we make it work? No. Okay. So what are you going to do with the property? Then we start having those conversations. Well, I need to sell it. Like, okay, well, this is what you can do. Or like, well, I don't really need to sell. It's like, yeah, just keep it. So giving people the transparency of like, I'm doing this to make money and to help you. And if we can do both of those things, we can do business. If we can't, I'll still help you out, because we deal with a lot of real estate transactions on a day-to-day basis. These people might deal with 5 real estate transactions in their entire life.
Yeah.
And so giving them the knowledge that you can give to them in a matter of 30 minutes that they, you know, it would take them years to acquire, that's really, really helpful. And that's going to go a long way. You might not see it immediately, but at some point in the future, you will see that, whether it's for a future conversation you have with another lead, or it could be a referral. So it really is, it's really beneficial to be transparent, honest, and really look out for the best interests of the lead, with at the same time making money.